Live from Studio B in the Annenberg Media Center, this is the Talk of Troy, where we talk a big game, but have even bigger opinions. He is Tyler Liu. I'm Kyle Loquet. No, I'm Jude Ocanas, filling in for Kyle Loquet today. Man, it's great. You know, Monday, we only have 2 weeks left, Tyler, so we might as well get as opinionated as possible. And trust me, we are going to have a lot of opinions on this entire show.
Yes, we are.
But we got to start with USC men's basketball because they've made a lot of moves. And to be honest, Tyler, you know, you've been here a short time thus far, but you have already experienced the disappointment of USC men's basketball. And we saw earlier today they picked up a freshman transfer by the name of Eric Reeb, a center from UConn. Didn't really play a lot, averaged 13 minutes there, had 5.9 points, 3.3 rebounds. Side note, he is from Germany, so kind of a continuation of what we've seen with European players coming more into the fold in college basketball.
Yeah.
So far, kind of just give me your overall thoughts of what you've just made so far, of what Musselman has done in this transfer portal thus far.
I like the pickups that we're seeing. Along with Eric Reeb, we also picked up KJ Lewis out of Georgetown. Similar situation. Guard didn't average too many points or anything.
14, 5, and 2, though, is pretty good.
That's still pretty good. And I think that's something to look for, especially because we also have signed the Ratliff twins as well. Also, 7'1", 7'2" guy.
6'11", but pretty much 7 foot.
Same
We
thing.
call it
Same
7
thing.
foot.
It's the new 7
It's
foot.
like when you're 5'11", you call it 6 foot.
You got we got height inflation going on. Like, might as well just round up.
Yeah, exactly.
But being able to shoot the 3 ball from there, and I'm really interested to see what he's cooking up here, because what we saw this season was just trying to rely on shooters to shoot, which we didn't see too much of. And I'm a fan of like big ball schemes. Like I'm a fan of kind of like this evolution that we are seeing in the NCAA, which we kind of saw with college football, where you go from having this very like high flying offense of like shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, very like Madden video game style of just score, to now investing in defensive players, now investing in very well-rounded guys that are able to dominate the paint. And I'm really excited to see what Musselman's going to bring to the team next year.
No, I love it too, and you almost took the words out of my mouth. I think that is what we've seen a lot with these few Musselman teams of, relying on your guys at the beginning of the season, like Rodney Rice. Then he gets injured. Then it's like, Chad Baker-Mazar. He gets injured. Then it's Elijah Arenas. Well, he was injured, and now he was back, right? Like, so there was no, true consistency at that point guard position. And now Elijah Arenas is back. You're going to have Rodney Rice back. And now they're only building out that front court, which you talk so much about. And it reminds me of something of taking the approach of what Dusty May did in Michigan this last year, right? They got Yaxel Lundenberg, or Borg, I should say, which, to be honest, I don't think many people thought was going to be, a great player by any means. Turns out he's the Big Ten Player of the Year. They Ade Mara, who's about 7'3", and then Morez Johnson from Illinois. And all of those moves were like, we are going to get bigger inside. And what did they do? They won the national title. And they did it pretty convincingly too, right? It wasn't like they just, it was, game winner after game winner. It's like, we are dominating you every single game. That's what they did on the championship. So I agree. But it'll be interesting to see how I think, the inclusion of these freshmen coming in, what can we expect from Ratcliffe twins immediately, right? I don't know if you've seen videos of them playing in high school.
I've seen some.
They're a little like, I mean, they're still 6'11", 7 foot, so they're huge wise, but like they don't got a lot of meat on their bones, right? So it's gonna be interesting how they come from. You know what I mean by that? they honestly. The college game is going to be a transition, so if they can, put on some weight, I like to call it the off-season peanut butter. If they can put on the off-season peanut butter, they put on a little bit more muscle. That's what I'm hoping to see from them. But look, I mean, when you guys, Eric Reeb, he's already played for UConn system. They were just in the national title game. I do really like where USC is going in this direction, and hopefully we can make a tournament for like once in our lives.
I think we will. and the thing is, like with the twins that we're bringing in is bare minimum, like 6'11", they can grow a little bit more. And like I said the same thing about Wemby going into the league. I'm like, might be a little bit too skinny. He's making it work. Like you see him just standing like in front of the hoop, swatting it down and draining threes as well. Bare minimum for USC basketball and USC athletics. Let's see some posters. Like
let's see some posters.
Let's see some.
And another guy that can do that, we didn't even mention Christian Collins, the 5-star forward for USC, who's also coming in. He's I believe a SoCal native. So that's also another guy. I think overall, when I look at this team, it's the first team I feel, at least in the Musselman years, where it's like, okay, we have positions for everybody. Like I felt like the last few years we're bringing in mid-major guys. They all kind of fit this 3-and-D stance. There wasn't a point guard that you could really make out of the mix. There really wasn't a big. I mean, we thought Gabe Dines was going to be something, and boy, did we learn fast. Just because you're 7'1", that doesn't mean you're good at basketball. No. So hopefully that's a different situation for Eric Reeb and the Ratcliffe twins. But moving forward, talking about another basketball professional game, the NBA playoffs.
Ugh.
Now, Tyler, unfortunately, your team didn't get to see it through, and I know Tony's got a lot of opinions, and he's got a lot of opinions when it comes to Steph Curry as a whole. But we'll continue forward.
Yes.
What has been the best game you've watched so far this weekend that you saw?
Best game I've watched this weekend, I would have to say that Magic Pistons game, only because you saw Cade drop 39, and out of everyone on that team to help him out, it was Tobias Harris dropping 17, everyone else single digits.
Yeah.
And I look at this and everyone's saying like, oh, like the Magic are the worst possible matchup for the Pistons. I don't know if I agree with that. They're definitely more well-rounded, and you're seeing Paolo step up. And you are just seeing a team that is stepping up to the plate in the Magic, and you are seeing a team in the Pistons that need to figure their stuff out real quick, or else it's just going to be an upset. And, to get into it, I don't think it's crazy to say that the Pistons could be eliminated in this first round.
They could be.
Could be.
I don't want to get too far because we have our overreactions.
Fair. The one thing I will say to those overreactions, the other thing I'll add about the plans, I'm honestly more sad at Con Knippel's play-in choke than my Warriors team losing. The nipple dried up. That's all we can say about that.
I think everyone was sad about the Hornets. I was disappointed to see that. I remember I was watching with a friend at a bar on Friday, and I was fully anticipating. I didn't really watch the beginning part, and I met him at the bar, and I'm walking in, and I'm fully thinking, all right, this is gonna be a close game at halftime, and I'm seeing them down 30 before halftime.
Yes,
it was 60-20, and I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
So it was a shame to see the Hornets go out that way. But I will say, in the one thing, a lot of respect to Paolo Banchero, because if you are on Twitter for anything, or NBA Twitter for anything longer than 5 minutes, you would see the absolute hate for number 5 on the Orlando Magic. I mean, he was getting ridiculed not just by Twitter people, but also by pundits. Shaq and all the guys on NBA. I was gonna say NBA on TNT, but NBA on ESPN. So I will say I was happy to see him kind of bounce back, and then obviously in a big way. But I have to be honest, Tyler, the best game for me was the Luke Kennard game. That was the best game of the weekend. It felt unreal, but it almost was like, oh, he's shooting it. It's got to go in.
Yeah,
it's got to go in. And I mean, I just thought the Lakers, they came out. I understand Kevin Durant was out, so that was a big piece, especially offensively. That the Rockets are missing, and I see Tony in the back trying to, boost up the Rockets and their hopes and aspirations in this round 1 series. But obviously it was big, Kevin Durant being out. But man, this Lakers team, and like I said, I didn't think this team was going to go far anyway. But the way they shot the ball, and that's a worry. Can they continue that 60% from the field, 50% from 3, the kind of those stats they had. But it was fun to watch. It was a fun team to watch. It didn't feel like there was a lot of isolation ball. I thought defensively, the way they guarded Sengun, the way they just played defense on, guys like Amen Thompson. I know, what's his name? The Tari Eason. I know he had a good fourth quarter. But besides that, I thought defensively, they looked really solid. And I think that's a big issue if you're the Rockets, is who is your primary ball handler when you need a shot? I know, I'd say if KD is out for a little bit longer, who are you going to in those moments?
Who's going to step up?
Because I'm sorry, I watched Sengun, and absolutely no disrespect, but it should be disrespectful to Nikola Jokic that they call this the Nikola Jokic 2.0, because they're not similar. They're not similar.
Not even close.
Watching Sengun, it's hard to watch. And I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm rooting for him to play bad.
Yeah.
But when I watch him, it's the same spin move to the hook shot. And if I was a coach, Tyler, I'd be screaming.
I would.
I'd be like, let's do something else. That's not going to work.
And I mean, Rockets, sure, you can say, oh, Kevin Durant's out. Look at this Lakers team. You don't have Luka. You don't have Reeves. And they're still making it work.
The role players stepped up.
The role players stepped up, and that's what you need to happen in the playoffs. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Bronny put in his 4 minutes of time, and he still made something out of it.
No, he didn't.
But
we're not going to actually allow that to get past. He looked terrible.
Exactly.
I have to be fully honest.
But I look at Sengun, and I'm just I'm a little bit uninspired. It's not to say that he played like an absolute horrid game, still put up 19 points. But when I look at this guy, I'm like, you don't have that presence and dominance that a Jokic is having. How are these comparisons even happening? Jokic can pull up from 3. He can still have like a triple, like double, and still like be that guy to elevate his team to the next level. I don't see that here. I don't see any kind of fire. And like, I think bare minimum.
A ball hog.
I see a ball
like a ball hog. Like I like genuinely like watching that whole game. I felt like every time he got the ball, he just never was going to pass. And that wasn't only because I had a Tari Eason prop line of points and rebounds, so I needed Tari Eason points. But it was actually like, this guy just doesn't pass the ball.
And I think to some extent, if you're on the Rockets, it's like, oh, like you can say like, oh, he's a ball hog because like his team isn't stepping up. Kind of like what we saw with like Mitchell in the last playoff series.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like there's no movement. There isn't anything crazy going on there. Now, can Kennard repeat his performance?
That's
I don't
the
think
question,
so.
right? That is the question.
I actually think that someone else, like, I think what you're going to see from the Lakers is all the role players are going to take turns having a big game until their stars come back. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Rui just has a magical game tomorrow.
And you know what, Tyler?
I see it coming.
That was exactly what I think I needed for the Lakers. By the way, I want to check in the back. There seems to be something happening in this Knicks-Raptors game.
What's the score?
Yeah, so the Hawks are winning.
Okay.
105 to 103. Brunson just got his pockets picked. Fast break. Jalen Johnson, 2-hand slam. 4-point game with 10 seconds remaining.
Wow. Wait, what? Like,
you can keep the play-by-play going. You can keep the play-by-play going. Is it timeout right now, or are they?
Oh, we're going to a break. Yeah.
We're going to a break. Keep us updated, and we will keep you updated because there is still NBA playoffs to be played after that game. I believe it is the Timberwolves Nuggets game 2 right there.
Yes.
But just going quickly back to that point before we go to the overreactions.
Yes.
That's exactly what I needed from the Lakers. It was just, look, LeBron James at this point, I know I love to see all the 2018 edits on my TikTok page, and I was hoping it could be that way.
Yes.
But in reality,
Just
you
FYI,
did really need that. Yes.
Our beloved host Jonathan looks like he wants to jump off of a cliff.
Yeah, he
right
looks in
now.
shambles.
Yeah.
While he's wearing his Josh Hart jersey, which you guys will see soon.
You actually can see the Josh Hart jersey. If Tyler, if you move your head, you can actually see it in frame.
Can you do a stand up? Like,
Come on, rep.
Can we stand up?
Be proud.
hey, you got to rep your team.
Come on.
In wins or losses, you got to rep your
Gotta be a
team.
real one. Stand by them.
I've always done that. I don't know what this
It's
is.
true.
I've always repped them.
No, that's fair. There you go. But let's get to some overreactions,
Yes.
underreactions, or let's start with the Lakers are going to sweep the Rockets. Tyler, is that an overreaction?
Yes. So, like, as much as I would see it funny to see that, and as much I would find it hilarious to watch Tony's reaction to all of that go down, yes, that's a bit of an overreaction in my opinion. Just because this Lakers team throughout the regular season, I don't know if Bron's gonna be that guy. Like, I've seen the TikTok edits of like he's gonna turn on his Bron for all. He needs to just like be able to hold the line until Luka can come back. But I don't think it's enough to say that this Lakers team is just going to sweep the Rockets. Now, we just talked about Rockets have a scoring issue.
Scoring update. Jalen Brunson just hit a 3. Down 1 point now are the Knicks. There's 7 seconds remaining. We still got a ball game here.
Still got a ball game.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And now they're
And
going back
also,
to
like,
break, I assume.
It jiggled in, by the way. Pause.
It jiggled in.
But
There's play-by-play Tony right there.
that was a shot that looked like it was going out.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But back to this. I think unless we can see LeBron put this team on his shoulders and he can turn back the clock just one more time, I think this is going to be a back and forth of not like a disaster class ball, but just like kind of just like mid basketball back and forth.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think it is an overreaction to say after one game. And I go back to the splits that the Lakers had, shooting, close to 60% from the field, 50% from 3. Like, I mean, if they can keep that up, that would be very, very impressive.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, right? Like I think Kennard, I mean, hopefully he continues it for, my sanity, but it's going to be hard to do that.
Yes.
Ruhachi Moore, we know he could probably have some bad games.
Yep.
So for them to sweep, no, I don't think that's possible. Do you got one for me, or you got?
I do. Well, do you think it is a overreaction to say that the East Finals will be between the Celtics and the Cavs?
No, I don't. And actually, I was talking with Tony about this.
Yeah.
I think if the Cavs played the Pistons, and funny enough, we'll talk about the Pistons in a sec.
Yeah.
I think the Cavs would beat the Pistons.
Yes.
And I do think they'd beat the Pistons because I look at it as, all right, if your number one option, right, is down. Cade Cunningham, he's having a bad day. Donovan Mitchell's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Who do I trust as a second option more? James Harden.
Yep.
James Harden in the playoffs. And I get it. We could talk. And Tony, I know what Tony's, I literally know what Tony's screaming behind. He is screaming, James Harden does not show up in the playoffs. That is true at moments.
Yeah.
That is true at moments. He's had back-to-back really good games to start this series versus the Raptors. He had I think he had 20 close to 25 points today.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's got into the Western Conference Finals before. It's not like he hasn't gone deep in the playoffs. It's just in those moments.
Yeah.
He can get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So I think Cavs can beat the Pistons, and I believe that the Celtics will handle. They would play.
They would beat out the 76ers. They would play the winner of Knicks and Hawks.
Okay,
By the way, who won the game?
It is. I'm watching it live right here. It is 107
going.
106. CJ McCollum missed both free throws. Josh Hart has it with 3 seconds left. Mikal Bridges step back off the mark, and there it is. The Hawks win it in dramatic fashion.
It's okay, Jonathan. We can't.
Wow. For context,
You
I'll give
totally
you a quick
spoiled it for Jonathan, by the way.
Yeah. Jonathan isn't. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was saying. For context, Tyler, CJ McCollum was at the line, and he missed. I believe he missed both free throws. Right, he missed both free throws. It wasn't the greatest look from Mikal Bridges. It was. It was a step back mid range, but it had a chance. So there it is. 1-1 Atlanta Hawks versus Knicks. They'll head to Atlanta in a tied series. Jonathan, how we
Step
feeling?
back mid-range with a timeout, by the way. They should have taken.
They did have a time. Oh, they did have a timeout.
The time. Who doesn't call a timeout as a coach?
Yeah.
You have time to set a play. You can win with a 2, or tie with a 2. Is it?
You know who would have called a timeout? Coach Tibbs.
Tom Thibodeau. Hey,
Tibbs.
Thibodeau would have called a timeout.
Brown needs to go.
But I guess now you got Mike Brown, so you got to figure that one out. So do you also agree that is not an overreaction? That
Yes,
you'll see the Cavs
and I don't think that is. And I look at this hardened narrative of he's a playoff choker. Like you said, he hasn't had his moments, but I think now he's finally on a team where he doesn't have to shoulder the burden of being the carry.
Exactly.
And I think
I'm 100% on that same page.
And I think that's the thing that will either one, from a psychological level, just take off the pressure from him. He can shoot, he can ball out, he can do his thing. And unless you have a disaster scenario where Mitchell's not doing anything, Allen's not doing anything, Mobley's not doing anything. Remember, the injuries of Mobley and just Allen took away from a little bit of this Cavs team, and I was a little bit worried at the end of this regular season. But when they're all on the court together, they're able to produce. And I think that's the thing about the playoffs, where it's just you're looking at, of your starters, who is going to be the most consistent. And then when you look at a team with 2 complete starting squads, it's like, okay, of your bench, who is going to produce? The teams that I see in the East that are doing that right now are specifically the Celtics and the Cavs.
Yep.
That is the one that are going to be up there. And I'm like, I can trust those two teams to ball.
No, I trust them. And I, to be honest, if we go even further, I think the Celtics win that series in my mind. I think the Celtics win that series in my mind. But James Harden threw 2 games with the Cavs this postseason, 25 points and 7 assists.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I get it. The Raptors are not that great of a team compared to the Pistons, but it just goes back. If Cade has a bad day, I don't know who you're leaning on for Detroit. I know who you can lean on if, one of your guys has a bad day, right?
Yeah.
Dennis Jenkins, I like him, but I'm not counting him to, win you a playoff game.
Yeah.
And now to my next overreaction, the Magic beat the Pistons. Is this an overreaction?
The Pistons. Instinctively, I want to say it's an overreaction, but looking at this game, no. I think I don't think this is an overreaction, because I have said this since the beginning. I've said this since the regular season. The Pistons have not figured out how to score without Cade, and I don't think that situation changes. I don't know what changes about this matchup that you suddenly start seeing the Pistons be able to solve that scoring issue. And if Paolo's back on like we saw him here, if Wagner's on, like you are seeing guys from the Magic that can spread the ball, that can show up.
Yep.
I don't think it'll be Magic in 6.
Magic in 6.
Magic in 6.
Wow. Yeah, I would have to say I'm going to still think the Pistons win this series.
Okay.
But I think it's more in the realm of the possibility that the Magic win. So I'm saying Pistons win the series. That's my take. I think Pistons win the series. I think they bounce back. I think this was you got a really hot Orlando team who's coming off a great win versus the Hornets. The Pistons are still number 1 seed for a reason. They're still one of the best defensive teams. They will figure out the scoring, right? I think they're scoring. Jalen Duren had what? He had a terrible game. He had 8 and 7. Like that is, he only took 4 shots too.
Yep.
Like I think this was just a wake up call for Detroit, who really a lot of these guys, besides like a Tobias Harris, a Duncan Robinson, haven't really been in the playoffs. So they haven't had this atmosphere. They were also at home. I imagine there was pressure on that. I'm going to take the Pistons to still win this series. I think it is an overreaction that the Magic would win.
Fair.
But to see Franz Wagner go to the second round, wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
I got one more, unless you got one more for me.
No, let's hear yours. Let's shoot it.
This is not just playoffs, but we're gonna talk about, since it is the playoffs.
Yeah.
The San Antonio Spurs have the best home atmosphere right now.
I will say, watching them and also seeing teams from around the league, if you fill your stadium with T-shirts, you automatically have a better chance to win. And I think that's what you're seeing. Like you saw, like the culture's there, the fans there. Spurs are still my pick to win it all. I think the Spurs are going to go all the way. They're going to win it all. Obviously, the Nuggets are still a juggernaut. They're going to have to go through them. Probably going to have to go through the Thunder as well. But this Spurs team looks so incredibly good on all facets of the game. And I'm just like, they're a team that I can root for. Like, their stars play ball that I like enjoy watching. It's ethical hoops. Like, that is something that I really want to see.
I got a question for you. I know that this is going on a little bit of a tangent. Do you think we'll get to a point with the San Antonio Spurs that we've gotten with the OKC Thunder? Because before the Thunder won a ring, right? I think there was a lot of it, and myself included, and I still try not to hate on them as much, even though the foul baiting is out of this world.
Yes.
It was a very lovable team, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like a young Jalen Williams, a young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Even, back when they had guys like Trey Mann and other, and I'm trying. There's like one like white lengthy guy. I cannot remember the life of me.
Poku.
Yeah, that was him. They were a very likable team, but then they won the chip, and then it was like, oh, we hate the Thunder. Do you think that would be the same case that happens to the Spurs?
Yeah, I think that's just like the cycle of the NBA community or NBA Twitter, because I do remember a time where SGA could do no wrong. Like, he could do no wrong. It couldn't be bad at all. Same thing with Giannis. Same thing with anyone who has ever kind of made that spotlight in terms of you are going from rookie to star. Same thing with Doncic. I just think that's the cycle of the NBA, that you go from lovable rookie, you start winning, you get your hate, and then, people start being able to, pick criticisms out of you. And that's the way things go. But the thing that I'll say is it becomes a lot harder to hate on that Spurs team, because if you look at a guy like Wemby, you're looking at him and you're like, like he's just a guy, like he's built that way. He's playing defense and he's playing offense. He's playing them both amazingly well. And it's just like, well, okay, he's just like genetically gifted, 1 in a million. It'll exist.
Yeah.
But it'll be there.
No, I agree. It's a really hard team to hate on. I think, Mitch Johnson should be coach of the year. I think what he's done with that Spurs team. I granted, look, when you got Victor Wembanyama, you don't got to do a whole lot on that side of the ball or both sides of the ball for that fact. But everything else, I mean, to take a franchise that really didn't have a lot of success the past few years and has been known to be a championship contender, I think he's done one hell of a job.
The other thing that I think doesn't help them out in terms of the eyes of the fan base, and this is going into the Olympics, is that neither SGA nor Wemby would be playing for America. And same thing with Jokic, where it's like with a guy like Curry, like people hate him for shooting the 3-ball. Yeah. But then when you pull up to the Olympics and he's shooting for Team USA, you're like, this is what it's like to be a Warriors fan now.
It's going to be funny though, and not to like drive any political conversation into this. I don't think that's going to matter as much. I think more people are just going to be like, oh, I like France because my favorite player, Victor Wembanyama, plays for France. I do think that is going to happen, and especially now that we have LeBron James is not going to play in this year's Olympics, or I should say in 2028. Kevin Durant's probably maybe we'll play. Maybe
Yeah.
Steph Curry. Maybe, but right, like those are all maybes. Like, but they're all getting up there. I mean, LeBron's 40. All of them are close to 40.
Yeah.
I think we are going to see, especially with all these influx of European players, and now their favorite, now they're on people's favorite teams. They're gonna be like, why not root for France, right? Because Victor Wembanyama plays for them.
Maybe.
Why not root for Serbia? Why not root for Canada? Because my favorite player is on that team. So I think that might change a little.
Maybe. I think on the basis of sports, again, this isn't political at all. Like, I do see that. I do see this shift in the NBA where you're like, people are attached to players. But I think when it comes time to be in the Olympics, you're still going to rally behind your guys and your Team USA and that just like national pride, the TikTok edits and everything. Now, who's going to be our team leader going into that if the Unks are out?
It's got to be Ant.
It's going to be Ant.
It's going to be Ant.
He's going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. Well, before we go, we got 4 minutes left. We cannot forget, Tyler, it is the NFL draft. It is this
the NFL
Thursday.
draft.
I'm very excited personally. The Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity to make some big moves on the defensive side of the ball. Hopefully they do the right thing and not just draft another offensive lineman named Tyler. Even though, hey, you might get drafted.
Hey,
you know that video where the guy's like, me? Drafted me? Anyway, quickly, I mean, we could go through all 32 picks, but that would bore you guys and that would bore us here. Yeah. So first 5 picks, Tyler, just give it to me. We got Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants. First 5 picks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying like the draft isn't gonna like truly start until what, like the 6th, maybe 7th pick. I think Mendoza is kind of like the obvious answer where he goes off. What I've seen is a mix between Arvell Reese and David Bailey going to the Jets.
Now, I've seen this.
The thing is, everyone has like a consensus agreement that Bailey is kind of like that more plug and play guy, that he's going to elevate your system. Sure. Reese has more potential. I think that if you are the Jets, the better move is to take Reese, but if you're Aaron Glenn, you just have to take Bailey. Like, you need your job security. If you're not going to see an immediate like beneficial player going in, then you're not going to see much. Yeah. Okay. Now for the Cardinals. You're in this weird position where if you're the Cardinals and the Titans, you kind of need a little bit more of everything. Yeah. And yes, taking an edge rusher in Bailey or Reese seems legit, but if I was them, I would actually take Francis Mauigoa.
Wow. Okay.
The OT. Like that pick. And I like that because I think
that pick a lot.
I want to see the Cardinals build a better offensive identity. I think it's more imperative to build out the line, your O-line, your trenches, and do that before getting to anything else. If you're the Titans, I'm going to go with the natural pick of the Jeremiah Love. You need that running back option. And then if you are the Giants, you just had the big pickup in Dexter Lawrence. Am I correct?
They traded.
They traded
Dexter Lawrence,
They traded him off to the Bengals. They now have the 5th and the 10th pick. I am going to go ahead and say that with this 5th pick, they should be picking up Sonny Styles. Might be a little bit of a reach.
Okay.
But I think just filling in that position is fine because with the 10th pick, if you want to go for your wide receiver option, that's like completely fine. You can then pick up like a Tyson, a Tate if he falls that far. Maybe you even go up to Mekhi Lemon because all of these mocks I've been seeing so far have Mekhi Lemon going to the Rams, and that is the dumbest thing. As like a Niners fan, I would hate that because
who are you gonna guard?
Can you believe like a Rams team that has Stafford being able to throw to Lemon, to Adams, to Puka if he's even playing, if he like hopefully he's not like doing some crash out stuff, and then plus their 13 personnel tight end. Like, I am so sick and tired of the Rams just having good positioning and good draft.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. So someone please reach for Lemon.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, honestly, I don't see. I mean, the only team I guess could be the Giants at 10 to take Lemon. I don't know if he's going anything before that. I have to say, most of us, I actually agree with pretty much every pick except that Cardinals pick. I'll just list it off real quick. Fernando, number 1. I think I had questions about his actual capabilities as a quarterback. Then I watched this postseason and I said, this guy's got it.
Yep.
This guy's got it. And it's specifically the play where he ran to a touchdown on 4th down against Miami in the national championship game, put his body on the line. I said, that is a winning play. That is a number 1 pick right there.
Yep.
Number 2, I think you got to go Arvell Reese. I think when I look at a guy like this, a hybrid where you can really put him anywhere. This is what Aaron Glenn has done. I know he runs a base 4-3, but as a guy that kind of runs base 4-3 and also 3-4, you can have a hybrid that you can either put inside or outside.
Right.
And I look at Arvel Reese. He's just another Michael Parsons. He had 6.5 sacks, 10 totals, 10 total tackles for loss. Number 3, I really do like your pick. I went with David Bailey, but I do like the Maui Goa pick.
Yeah.
I think if they do go Maui Goa, they are going to trade back. I think they are going to trade back. I didn't want to put any trades because I don't want to get complicated.
For sure.
But I do like that Francis Maui Goa pick because I think, you know what? You got to protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
We don't know who really that is going to be for the Cardinals. I think David Bailey, I'm looking at right here, the Cardinals were third last in sacks this season with 30. And so they just need some production. David Bailey had double digits for Texas Tech.
Yep.
I think you can plug him in like you talked about instantly. Number 4, Jeremiah Love to the Titans.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the pick, and maybe this is just me as a Cowboys fan that saw us draft Ezekiel Elliott in 2016, and there were great years.
Yes.
But it doesn't last that long. It doesn't last that long, and to take a running back that high, I think Jeremiah Love is fantastic. I have to look at the stats. I might be wrong, but I did check the last time the Titans had a 1,000-yard rusher was 2012 with Chris Johnson.
Wow.
So that would probably be an addition that they need with Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
And then 5th overall, I'm actually going one of his teammates, not Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs.
I think this is a guy that, he's going to fly across the field. The Giants already have a really good defense in the interior and the front 7. I think if you add Caleb Downs, he's going to change your defense as well.
I can see that.
That was Tyler's mock draft. That was mine.
Yeah.
We're just, we're giving our opinions. We're not draft experts. We're not Daniel Jeremiah here, but we hopefully will get a few picks right. He's been Tyler. I've been Jude. This has been the first block of the show. Stay around, though. A lot of hot takes coming up.
Right here.
Tate and Nolan, they're up next.
And welcome back to the Talk of Troy. Tate and Nolan here. Excited to be here with you guys. A lot of basketball talk, a lot of football talk too. I mean, biggest news right now, basketball, NBA playoffs going on. But also, we've got some, there's always those snub talks, right? Whenever you talk about awards. Luka has been a hot topic. He averaged 33, 8, and basically 8 this year. As you mentioned, second time he's done that and gotten snubbed. Initial thoughts, Tate?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he's gone through a lot of stuff, right? He's gone through injuries. He's gone through personal stuff, which might or might not have had effect on his game. But what I want to say here is that even though he got cleared, he got special clearance that he could get postseason awards, still didn't seem like it was going to matter because, yeah, the only guy statistically to be averaging those numbers twice has been snubbed from MVP voting.
Yep.
And I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I think the contributions he's made to this Lakers team year-round has been so massive. Sure, we are, as Jude and Tyler said earlier, just kind of skating by because a lot of the role players are stepping up. But when they didn't step up, Luka was that guy. He was the driving force of the team. He was so crucial. And there's a lot of weird pieces in there. And if you're going to think about what is the most valuable piece on that team, you're going to say Luka.
Of course.
It's not going to be Braun anymore, despite how good he is right now. And he's like, he's got his Magic Johnson in him where he's going, ee-hee, and he's throwing it like from like across the court and whatnot. It's still Luka. And everyone who's a Lakers fan's gonna say that because they understand the impact Luka has on this team. I still think his snub's ridiculous. Jokic, Shea, makes sense. That is like the two very constant MVP candidates we've had. Shea has been the go-to guy, despite his last playoff outing, which was not good, by the way. And Jokic, who is the best player in the world still.
So do you concede that both of those players deserved to get in before Luka?
Yes.
Okay.
I think those two have made a direct impact, especially with the injuries Denver has faced. Aaron Gordon, they lost MPJ. Jamal Murray's been shaky. They've had like a full bench team for half
Jokic
the year.
has had to step up a lot.
Jokic has had to step up a lot, and he's been hurt too. Shea, I don't know. Like, he is kind of like hurt a lot recently, but he's still Mr. Triple-Double. That is.
I also think if you're the best player on the best team in the NBA, you kind of got to be in.
Yeah.
Like, you can't not be in the conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Wemby.
So Wemby is the thing for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I know that's very weird considering he was unanimous DPOY, which we will get to later. But guys, come on. Did Wemby have that big of an MVP impact? Because
I think he absolutely did.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Are you sure? Because he was out for a lot, right? He was out for a lot, and the team still managed to hold on. I don't know necessarily the same stats between when the Spurs had Wemby versus when they don't have Wemby, but let's look at their team, okay? They have a 6th Man of the Year contender to show their just extensive depth, Keldon Johnson. They have defensive front court savants. They have Luke Cornett, another very strong big. They have De'Aaron Fox.
Sorry to interrupt. Spurs were 12-6 this year without Wemby. So they're
okay.
They were good. I don't know how that. I mean, what was their end of season percentage? I guess with Wemby.
Okay.
62-20. I mean, so there's a difference. But they're still good.
So doing some math here. 20 minus 6. That's 12 games they've lost with him, right?
Pull up how many games the Thunder have won.
Wait, that's
with
bad
Shea.
math.
No,
That's
it's
14.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
I was confused what you were saying. I was like,
whoa,
what can get me to 12?
Whoa, I'm sorry. That was bad. Let's just say that Luka, when they didn't have Luka on the field, they lost. They were 10-8, which I think is way more substantial. I think
it is. I mean, the Spurs also had a better record overall than the Lakers, though.
Yes,
so
they have a better team.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're the Spurs record with if you want to get down to the winning percentages, the Spurs had a better winning percentage with Wemby than the Lakers did with Luka.
Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, this Spurs team has got insane depth. They got an amazing backcourt.
But they
don't
have
Harper,
a 1-2-3
Castle. They got De'Aaron Fox.
They don't have a 1-2-3 punch like the Lakers do.
1, 2, 3. Who's the third?
Austin Reeves.
Whoa. Austin Reeves isn't 2? Who's 2?
Lakers had a 1-2-3 punch. Luka, LeBron, Reeves.
LeBron's literally only stepping up because they've been out. And throughout the regular season, he's been barely over 10 points for some games. He's been barely trying to get some of his streak alive. The
You're
streak
trying to tell me
which is
LeBron
alive
doesn't
on
count
LA
as a-
soil, by the way.
You're trying to tell me LeBron doesn't count as a 1-2-3 punch?
Oh, no.
LeBron James?
Oh, no. I mean, he's definitely a 1, 2, 3 punch, but I think he's the third option. I think he's definitely the when all options are gone, when in doubt, break the glass and get the emergency LeBron that's on the wall. But it is currently Luka and Reeves.
Yeah.
It's those two.
He'd be the number 2 in San Antonio, though. I think San Antonio definitely has more depth. I think LeBron is better than everyone in San Antonio other than Wemby.
Whoa. Are we I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to
think he would
disagree.
be.
I'm gonna have to disagree. The young team there, I think if we were to use like trade statistics and whatnot, I forget that one website, but like if you were to like throw up the depth that they have with LeBron, like if you were to weigh that, I think definitely the young players would outweigh LeBron.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying I think the surrounding cast of both Luka and Wemby is relatively similar, or at least more similar than you're giving credit. I don't think it's that far off. And I think when you look at it, Luka's numbers offensively absolutely are better, right? 33, 8 and 8. Wemby 25, 11 and 3. I mean, they're both amazing, but Luka's numbers offensively are definitely better. But I think they've both got strong supporting casts. Luka's shooting 47% from the field, Wemby's shooting above 50%, and his team is better. And he has the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
You combine Wemby, who I think is comparable offensively, not as good, but comparable, and the best defense in the league compared to Luka, who is not a good defender at all. I'm not surprised at why Wemby's in that list and Luka's not.
I think the defense is a massive factor as why Wemby did get that nomination for the MVP finalist. I mean, like, have you seen the voting splits for the DPOY? It was ridiculous. It was 100 to him.
Yep.
Without like just boom, no one close.
No question.
Chet got breadcrumbs. Thank God.
I want to ask your guys' opinions about stating your cases as an MVP candidate. Do you think that is fair, or do you think that players should just shut up because it might affect how the voting process
No,
goes?
I think you should state your case, because I think if you're on a team that is like stacked, right, and you're playing the best on a very favorite of a team, it's like, well, okay, you're expected of that. Versus a guy who's got, aging star on his team, people might be like, oh, it's the LA star power, it's the LA whatever, yada yada. I think what Luka is doing, especially with the team he has, with the defensive ratio, the guy is like offensive, like a machine. He is like the engine for them to compete with a lot of other really good teams in the Western Conference. I think that deserves something that should be looked at once or twice. It's not something where it's like, oh yeah, Wemby, he's like all over the place and he's super good. Yes, that is true. There's also a lot of merit that he did, that comes with his defensive prowess. However, if you look at the team, it is so well rounded, it is so well prepared for the future that he can do this because he's comfortable. Luka has had an uphill battle almost the entire season, and he knows it. And I think that deserves a little credit.
It absolutely deserves credit. I think this is the strongest top four. I guess I can't call them all four finalists because there are only three. But if you were to give if you were to put four NBA players as finalists for MVP, this is the strongest top four I can remember in a long time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think most other years, this year's Luka is one of those finalists. I just think it's unfortunate that you have SGA, who's putting up, again, historic numbers and has a historic team. You've got Jokic, whose numbers are even more historic, and his team still has a very strong record. And you've got Wemby, who is one of the best offensive DPOYs ever. Yeah. Right? And he has one of the best, if not, statistically, the best defensive season ever. And he also happens to be someone dropping 25.
It's
unfortunate.
It's crazy because this is the environment we are in the league, where you are having these young players from all over the globe, which is amazing. We love the expansion of the league, but you're going to find these talents and you're going to realize it's going to get rough. So something that a question that's been asked is, do you think that Luka can win an MVP after this, just period? Or is the competition too tough?
It's going to be really, really tough.
The answer's no.
I'm not going to say it's no, but it's just Luka he's always had the numbers, right? Although if you want to play a pure numbers game, Jokic's numbers will always be better. But for as long as Luka puts up basically the second best numbers in the NBA, if he can get his team to a top 2 or 3 seed, I think he can win that. The problem is when you have Wemby, whose numbers are just as good, but his team is better. SGA, whose numbers are almost as good, but his team is better. Jokic, whose numbers are better, and this year his team is better. There's there's a strong reason as to why you can't put Luka in that conversation. His team needs to be better than the others, because I think we're in an era where numbers get you in the door. They don't win it for you. They don't exclusively win it for you. When Jokic won, I mean, part of it was because of numbers, but they were truly historic. He was also on one of the best, if not the best team in the NBA.
Yeah,
Luka can't say that.
We remember the MVP that went to a one Joel Embiid, though, right?
That's true.
That was a snub.
We do not care.
No, that was a snub. We do care. We still keep receipts here because this is important. MVP is most valuable player, not most valuable team.
Yes. But when you take all of these, like, every player that we've talked about has a relatively strong supporting cast when healthy. So I guess health matters. So, Jokic, give him his flowers for that. But all of them have strong supporting casts. When SGA is leading his team to 64 wins, that means something. When Jokic, his team has 56 win, like there's a difference there, and I think that matters. It's not most valuable team, but if these different players have relatively similar supporting casts and there's a difference of 10 wins, you're comparing the 1 seed to the 4 seed, you've got to have a strong reason for that 4 seed to give him the MVP. Like, what's the difference maker?
I think the difference maker is if you look at the stats, right? If you look at the thing that has been illuminated and highlighted and gone back on and been like, hey, but wait a minute. You see how much this guy's averaging? You see how much he's doing with like the teammates he has? I would hate to see Luka not be able to get an MVP because of the horrible atrocities that Jake LaRavia is committing on the Lakers basketball team. I also think that because, for example, Luke Kennard, great player. He's the current, he's the hope, right? He's currently the hope for this next series against the Rockets. He was not on the team until they shelled out Gabe Vincent, which, by the way, took a year and a half to do. Gabe Vincent was actively like an anchor pulling the team down. And there's a lot of bad players on teams. There's a lot of players that don't fit with rotations on teams. Do you penalize, basically, the MVP candidate for dealing with that? Because Luka can't score all the points. Reeves can't score all the rest of the points. And then if you look at some of the tight Lakers games that go upwards beyond 100 points, you're going to realize that beyond Luka, sometimes Braun and Reeves, no one else is scoring. No one else is contributing to the level he is. It is literally just him.
Couldn't I say the same thing about Jokic?
That's not true. Jamal Murray is the guy who is like the Reeves, but he's like super Reeves. He's super inconsistent Reeves because sometimes he'll drop 30, maybe 40.
You tell me the Nuggets have a better healthy, I'm not saying when healthy, I'm saying including the lack of health, the Nuggets supporting cast.
Yeah, look at Aaron Gordon. Look at Aaron Gordon. That guy, how old is he? And he's putting up those numbers, especially in playoffs game. He was so crucial against the Wolves in the first game. He was crucial. I don't see my power forwards doing that. Granted, Rui's been playing well right now, so thank you. But LaRavia, dude, what are you doing? I have a whole thing with LaRavia and his minutes and also JJ Redick's rotation in our team. But it gets to a point where it's if that's gonna keep holding Luka back, that whole idea of what is the MVP and how, you're not really carrying your team hard enough. Well, let's look at the rest of the league, right? You have one of the most talented leagues currently. This is one of the most talented formats of the NBA in maybe history. If you were to throw a bunch of really good players from way back when, they're not going to carry to the extent they used to. This isn't Larry Bird's era. This isn't I can drop 50 because I'm Jordan. No, Jordan's going to struggle in this era. Jordan's going to struggle MVP-wise, much like Luka, because you could look at the stats, you could look at how he performs, but he's still going to lose because he's in a tough conference and a tough division against tough players. That is just how it is right now.
I mean, and you can say that SJ's got an easy path to winning because he's got that supporting cast. He's also putting up 31 on 55% shooting as a guard. That deserves merit too.
No, it does. It definitely does. I think Shea is one of the best players in the league right now. There's no doubt about that. But still, if you look at him, they are going to have half their team injured. And the guy who everyone calls Asian Duke Dennis, Jalen Williams, it's going to drop 30. We don't have a bench player who can do that. 0.
What Luka can largely control is his efficiency, and his efficiency numbers are lower than the other three. And
because he has to. No one's else shooting like an accurate shot.
I feel like I could say the same thing about Jokic. Like, yes, he's got some help. His help absolutely does not clear OKC one bit. I think the Nuggets and the Lakers are very comparable. Thunder completely out of that league.
No, Shea's gonna win MVP. Like
Yes.
it's gonna happen. Like it's so obvious, and it's a bit sad. But the guy, if you look from every single angle, it's lock. It's a lock. Like sure, he had a bad game. Like right, everyone has bad games. Like everyone's gonna say that, right?
Quick question: if Shea and the Thunder, well, one, if Shea wins MVP this season and wins again the Finals MVP this season, is he higher?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves on the Finals.
Does he rank higher than Jokic all time?
No.
No.
I think right now the Thunder are just like on an incredible hot streak. Like you pick up Jared McCain like that. Oh my God. Like
I think what Jokic did for even if you want to narrow it down to one playoff run would be more impressive than what SGA would do for 2 playoff runs combined. Given
I would
the
agree.
roster that he has.
I would agree. I would agree.
I think if SGA continues to do this and and he ends with 6 rings, even if he's got that help, I mean 6 rings speaks for itself. But when you're talking about 1 ring versus 2 rings, I don't like the debate of this number's higher, that guy is better all time.
I would agree.
I think you need context.
I would agree. I think the numbers and also ring people you see like where it's like like the argument against Braun and Jordan where it's like Jordan has 6 rings and Braun only has 4. It's like okay well that's a horrible comp.
Yeah, MJ never had to take a team of nobodies.
Exactly. So case in point. But all this talk is just really disheartening because at the end of the day, it's gonna be Shea. It's gonna be Shea.
It's gonna be Shea.
And okay, enough.
Yeah, he's really rubbing it in for
No,
all
like
Lakers
seriously.
fans.
But it's all good, Like there's always next year, and as people have said, we have the different management. We're the Dodgers. It's like, yeah, we do. So things might be looking up. And yeah, you know what? Thank you, LeBron. This might be your send off, so this is a glorious way to go out. So thank you, LeBron.
Let's I want to transition really quick to let's stay on the topic of NBA, but all this serious talk. It's 420.
Oh yes.
April 20th.
Oh yes.
Let's lighten the mood up a little bit.
Happy 420, everybody.
I'll let you introduce this. You
yes.
pitched this idea.
So I think in the honor of the holiday, we should go around and basically explain who would be our nightmare blunt rotation. So guys, if you don't know what that is, basically it is the least likely people who you would want to enjoy in the festivities with, per se. Maybe it's because of their attitude or what might they talk about. Basically, who would you least likely want to enjoy some, some goods with?
For me, I will say it was tough to make this list because I am not one to enjoy the goods at all. So I really have no clue if I were in that state. Who would I actually want to be enjoying it with? The first 3 that came to mind, though. Ja Morant, because he would freak me out by pulling out a gun.
Whoa.
Probably. Ja Morant? You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, Ja Morant?
That was the first guy that came to mind. Who's going to act unhinged?
Huh. Well, you don't know because it depends because will they be a Mellowmore person? You'll never know.
I know
it's like
you
alcohol,
don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna go at the family function, and it's like, okay, is the uncle gonna be like really like, oh yeah, or like, oh no?
Of course, you have no clue.
You have no idea.
It's all guesswork.
Ja Morant, though, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with my first take, Kendrick Perkins.
I think he's hilarious. I think he'd
No. He's going to say some crazy stuff. He's going to be like, he's going to talk about wanting the perk. Like, I'm good. I promise you, it will be fine. Like, I don't want to talk.
I mean,
about
I'd rather
that.
hear about that than have Ja wave it, like brandishing a weapon.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair. But I don't know. I feel like Ja would be cool. I feel like Ja would be cool.
He might. A lot of these guys might be cool. It's just you never know.
That's
So
true.
I'm going off of. I'm not going off of the ceiling. I'm going off of the floor. What's the worst Kendrick Perkins can do? What's the worst Ja Morant can do or has done?
Oh.
You know, like.
You know what?
That's what I'm going
All right.
off of.
All right. So
'Cause
who's
it's
your
all
second?
guesswork.
Who's your second then?
Yeah. This is an interesting list. I went with Karl Malone.
Karl Malone. Okay, guys, we can all agree on that.
I don't think
Get
there's
some
much of
help.
an explanation needed
Stop it.
for that one.
Get some help.
I would agree. Karl Malone.
Yeah,
That's a you know what? That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I would say that is a very good choice.
I think there's a low ceiling and a low floor for that one. So
Yes.
that was kind of an easy one.
Yes. You guys are having so much fun back there. I'm gonna have to go with my number two pick, Chandler Jones. Used to play for the Cardinals. Who iconically has had the moment where he is on IG Live and he has gone up to his car and been like, "They have trapped Larry Fitzgerald in my dog, and I'm going to take him home." I cannot. No. I can't do that. I would feel so uncomfortable around that. Like, I would just be like, "Yeah, man, I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to hang out. Like, what's up?" And he's like, "Larry Fitzgerald's in my dog." Like, imagine. That's like having a government conspiracist in your house.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
And that was a very good sleeper pick. That was a very good sleeper pick. For my last one, we said 3, right?
Yes.
I was between 2. I'm gonna go Mike McDaniel.
Mike.
I used to love the guy, and I still love him. I think he'd start to piss me off at some point. There's those guys that you never want to go on, too long of a road trip with. He's got to be one of them. And if I'm just stuck there with him, oh man, if he's just rambling, he's not the guy I want.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. My third one kind of gonna be similar to your first pick in the sense of, oh my gosh, what are we dealing with?
Yeah.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just keep seeing these reports.
Yeah.
I keep double checking them. I'm checking them thrice, and I'm like, you bit someone?
Yeah.
Off what? Okay, you know what? I'm good.
I'm out on him.
So that's our list for the worst of the worst when it comes to chilling out on 420. But you know what? I can thankfully say that we are amongst good company here at TOT, where we can talk sports and not the potential worst of the worst for 420. So I think there's more better news, though, actually. You have something to talk about in the MLB sphere.
Yeah, best, at least for me, for pretty much everyone other than Dodgers fans or some LA locals, Mason Miller, Padres closer who the Padres traded for last year, is on like a complete historic run. Just for context, this season he's faced 38 batters. Only 4 of them have reached base.
Wow.
2 of them actually got a hit, and 2 of them just by a walk. So he has struck out 71% of those batters. Those 38 batters that he's faced this year. That is the highest rate in a pitcher's first 11 games to start a year since the MLB began tracking the stat in 1900. So it probably goes back earlier, but that's all we have. He is now sort of climbing the leaderboards for odds to win the Cy Young. It's almost unheard of for a closer to win the Cy Young. The last closer to win it was Eric Gagne in 2003. He ended the year with 137 strikeouts, 55 saves, and 82 innings pitched. Mason Miller's pace right now, 198 strikeouts, 59 saves, and just over 81 innings pitched. And I want to highlight that strikeout stat. He's on pace for 198 strikeouts. That would obliterate the current closer record in a single season. Right now, it belongs to Dick Raditz, who had 181 strikeouts. That was in 1964 when closers didn't just pitch in the 9th inning. So he had 181 strikeouts in 157 innings. Mason Miller's on pace for 198 strikeouts in 81 innings. Like that is absurd. Modern closers struggle to get over 100 strikeouts in a season.
Do you think it's possible for him to lock down this award, or is it just like is it a far gone fantasy?
The problem is Paul Skeens.
Yeah,
that's the it's the same like debate we're having right now with NBA MVP. It's like it's not just how you perform, it's your competition, and there's so much competition. And I think for the Cy Young, it's not that there's so much competition, it's that there's one guy in each league that is absurd, and that's the problem. That's the problem for Mason Miller.
Sports has been so elevated, and it's to the extent where if we're looking at the closer, right, it is only a specific amount of innings that you really are coming in to, save the day, quote unquote. Do you think that there should be a separate award dedicated just to the closer because it's such like an obscure and almost like specific sort of pitching? Or do you think is it just going to continue to remain and it's in the general pitching sphere of the Cy Young?
I never really thought about that until you brought it up. I don't follow baseball nearly as much as football and basketball, so I'm not sure. I mean, I know we've never had a conversation like this in a long time, but I'm sure there have been closers that were better than what in a typical year would be the best closer. I'm sure there's been years where someone clearly deserved an award, and to me it just looked like, oh, that's the best closer this year. And people of that fan base may have thought the same thing. It seems weird giving an award to one position, right? Like how many other sports?
Actually, college football does that. It's true. It's true. It does. They do the best tight end. They do the best foot. They do the best corner.
It's true.
If you were to look up all
everything.
the lists, it's very obscure, but they have a list.
I don't think it's obscure because they do it for basically everyone. Like there's a chance for everyone to win an award for whatever their position
Shouldn't
is.
that be the case, though?
Yeah, but I'm saying if the MLB, they've got their traditional awards, and then they've got this one award for closers. That's it. It just seems a little like, why are you giving one position its own award, right? Like look at NBA. You've got your MVPs, you've got your Rookie of the Years, you got your six men. Whatever. There's no center award. And then in the NFL, what they've kind of tried to do is offensive player of the year because, if you're not a quarterback, you're not going to win it. But there's no running back of the year. Right? I wouldn't mind if the MLB had a closer of the year, but then I think you have to start looking at other positions that historically almost never win it. Right? Even a catcher, catchers rarely ever are that great of batters. Catchers are going to ask for their award, right? I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think it's weird to just have a catcher's award.
Well, maybe it's for the best, though, because I'm looking at all the awards right here for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to listen to this, and I just want you to what's your immediate takeaway? Okay, AP Most Valuable Player presented by Invisalign. AP Coach of the Year. AP Comeback Player of the Year. AP Offensive Player of the Year presented by Microsoft Copilot. AP Defensive Player of the Year presented by TCL. AP Offensive
We're not
Rookie
sponsored
of
by
the
these
Year
companies. So
presented by EA Sports,
Sports,
Madden, NFL. No, we're not
Yeah,
sponsored by this companies, but you know who is? The NFL.
The NFL.
I think with the expanding TV rights and also with the expanding business model that is the NFL, wouldn't it not benefit everyone if you were to put out all these awards, incentivize players to really push for and advocate for themselves in specific positions, specific niches in said positions, and also get advertisements so you can bring in more money?
It's kind of a win-win. The only loss, I guess, is it almost, some would say it dilutes the winners of the top awards. Like if you had a closer of the year, I guess you could say it would dilute the Cy Young winner. But I don't see that argument maybe as strong as the argument that you're making. Because, if Mason Miller is that great of a pitcher, and if they had a closer of the year award, he could win both the closer of the year and the Cy Young award, right? In theory. So I don't mind that at all. And I think it goes back to people have talked for a while about you need an offensive lineman of the year award because offensive linemen never win it.
And they never get recognized.
Yeah.
And it's you only recognize him if they play for your team and your quarterback isn't getting clobbered.
Yeah.
Because then when they're gone, you'll recognize it.
When they're out of the news, it's a good thing for an offensive lineman. So I think that's an interesting proposal. More revenue for the MLB, more recognition for closers. That's not a bad proposal at all.
Yeah, hit me up on LinkedIn if you want to talk any execs.
And you got to get a commission of the revenue that the MLB's taken.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Hit Tate up.
yeah, no, we got this. We could workshop this. But thank you so much for tuning in to Block B with Nolan and I. We got Block C action next with 2 jerseyed individuals of we got Tony and we got Jonathan. Peace.
More hot takes. I do wonder if that closer idea is like a common award.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here for the final segment of the show. I'm here as a jerseyed individual, you know.
Jersey individuals out here.
I'm here opposed from my friend, my good New York Knicks friend,
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Who took his L, but it's okay.
Oh.
I'm supporting, you know, New York in the way that I can, the only way I should, because that's the I feel like I should just let you take the floor. Can we talk about what just your instant reaction is to that last late scratch loss to the Atlanta Hawks?
You can go ahead and turn off that music. Let me say something right now. No,
thank you, Tate.
No,
Thank
let me
you,
say
Tate,
something right now.
Soundboard.
Let me say something right now. This was what they needed. This was good. This was a good loss. I'm saying it now. They needed
Get some help.
Listen,
Well,
they
you're right.
needed
You're
to
right.
lose.
They needed to lose because you need to lose in order to go to Game 7. So that's why I'm saying
not to go to Game 7.
yes.
They needed to get this loss only because the Knicks, as I've said it before and I'll say it again, they are a very emotion-driven team.
Of course.
They won that.
Their emotions drove them to a 14-point lead blown.
Yeah, there was, but I will say this loss is on the team as a whole, but more importantly, it's on Mike Brown. Because I don't know, listen, timeouts don't carry over. They don't. Why? Listen, you're down 1 point. 1 point to win the game. So any shot, you have about 5 seconds left when you get the ball because McCollum couldn't hit a free throw on his 2 shots, which,
Right.
Okay, you have the ball. You have
OG
possession.
also missed both of his free
Why?
throws.
Yes. Why do you run all the way down the floor and go, you know what? We don't need to drop a play.
I understand that you have that timeout, use it. But you know, like do you feel like the Knicks would have been more comfortable at that half court spacing? Do you think that they would have gotten a comfortable shot out?
Yeah.
With 5 seconds left?
Yes. I
Really?
think so. Because most likely what they could do, because obviously you have Bridges take that final shot, which if anyone knows
Are you
anything,
comfortable with him taking that shot?
that final shot Not like that, I will say.
Okay.
But I will say something else. If you go to that timeout and you're coming out, okay, half court pressure, everybody knows who's Captain Clutch in New York, in the NBA. It's Jalen Brunson.
I mean, he did hit an
He hit the
important
three, exactly.
He hit the three that jiggled in, as I said.
And clutch player of the year last year. Listen, you're assuming they're going to go, okay, coming out of this, they're going to try and get Jalen Brunson a shot. So maybe they will put more pressure on him. Maybe they're even more inclined to do a double team, something where they may make a slip up. And now you have Bridges taking a planned shot, not fading away with a guy in his face. When, by the way, the layup was open. He could have drawn the foul. He could have went up for the layup and hit it. He didn't even need the foul. He would have made that. But no, he went, you know what? Let me do this little fadeaway action because I think.
No, yeah. He could have driven to the basket like Jalen Johnson.
But I will say it. I think the Knicks we're going to lose a game. I didn't think it was going to be. I wanted to be a sweep.
You didn't want it to be at home.
No, I didn't. Look, I didn't think it was going to be a sweep.
No. But here's what I'll say. I still have you guys winning this series.
No, we're winning the series.
But are you a little concerned that now they have the momentum swinging back into their home court?
No.
Not at all.
The Knicks.
Not at all. You're not a little worried.
No, because I feel like, I don't know, in the last playoffs especially, the Knicks played better away. And they almost always do this away. Remember, Celtics-Knicks, they took the game in Boston, and then they sucked at home.
Yeah.
They usually, for whatever reason, even though they got Madison Square Garden behind them, they suck more at home than they do away. So personally, I'm a little more comfortable, I'm going to be honest.
Wow.
Having a momentum where the Knicks know they have to get their act together because they cannot lose in this first round. They know it.
They know what's at stake.
They know what's at stake.
What's at stake is a blow up. What's at stake is not just Mike Brown leaving, but Cat leaving, but Bridges leaving.
The city might end up migrating, leaving. There may be no more New York.
They might move to Buffalo.
They're gonna take away the New York Knicks. It's gonna be like, yeah, you know what? They're just the Knicks. We're putting the New York off.
Yeah.
So, I think knowing this, I feel a little better, even though because I knew they're gonna get a loss. I feel like this was the one to lose. Personally, I'm not happy they did. They should have won, but I think this is the momentum they'll need. And the Knicks will win this series. I wanted to say in 5, but now I'm going to have to lean more towards 6. They're not going to Game 7, Tony. They're not going to Game 7.
I think that this is a 7-game series, man.
No.
You are winning. You're just going to be tired. You're going to be tired when you have to play the Celtics in the second round.
But we're built to play the Celtics. It's true. We are built to play the Celtics.
You are built to play the Celtics.
This team was literally built to take down the Celtics and nothing else in mind. So
I mean, as long as you guys get past that first round matchup, you guys can do it. You'll be winded doing it.
Yeah.
And you'll really need to walk away out of that series less than 6 games if you really want to be well rested for an Eastern Conference Finals matchup with, I'm assuming, Detroit. But I mean, now that we're here, let's talk about what's been going on in the Eastern Conference besides your Knicks falling apart. Let's talk about the landscape of the Eastern Conference. So far, games right off the bat, we already know Magic won. Cavs are now up 2-0.
Yep.
And then Knicks, Celtics are up. Well, they'll be up 2-0, I'm assuming, but can't really say that until it happens. So right now, the only split we got is you guys. And outside of that, what other teams are shocking you? Not really shocking you. Honestly, like not moving the needle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I am personally shocked by the Sixers. Because were they going to win? Listen, hold on. Were they going to win the series? No. But in my mind, were they going to put up more of a fight than a 123-91 loss?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't think that an Embiid-less Sixers, I know this sounds crazy, but I think the way that the team has been dealing with this kind of stuff with Embiid being in and out for like the last year and a half, you would think that they would attack that game a lot better, a lot smoother.
I would like to. I think the Sixers hopefully can push them to 6 games. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it right now, but I I don't know. I thought the Sixers would be a little better playing against Celtics. I thought there would be a more competitive. I thought it would feel more like the Knicks-Hawks series in a way, where it's more competitive. Obviously, Celtics will win a few games, but I don't know.
They're gonna
they're
need Paul
surprising.
George to play "I Need a Hero" and him to like go back into his Indiana Pacers days. Like, have you seen that? Have you seen that meme where like Paul George is like the owner of like 4 different songs now? Like he's like the owner of "You Light My Fire," and then he's also the owner of oh my gosh, what is that? It's like an old band song. I'm trying to think.
I'm not pulling this one.
Whatever. It's like 3 songs. 3 of those.
And I keep getting
3 of those songs are. We're gonna ignore with just random ghosts.
He's getting the song. He's getting the song. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's probably finding the songs right now, but he's gonna play them. Thank you, Tate. Yeah, I think it is this song. Yeah, it's. So he's the owner of not only that, but this. And some other songs, and it's just like, man, you gotta have this man like really play well.
Yeah, and I mean,
First comment on this YouTube video is Celtic Shack, by the way.
It's Celtic Shack.
Alrighty.
It's not Nets KG, really.
No.
I would have thought it would have been Nets KG, but
I gotta ask you though, because you had a somewhat interesting take before the playoffs started. Are you surprised with how Jason Tatum performed in his first game, where he ended up looking like and being the first option to getting second most points? Yes, one behind Jaylen Brown, but he played more minutes, had a few less shots. His 3-point was atrocious, his percentage there.
I mean, I'm not worried about that because I think that'll probably stay relatively the same. What I want to know is, yes, he did well against a Sixers team that, very frankly, who is guarding Jason Tatum? Kelly Oubre. Kelly, man. I mean, like, I'm trying to look at some of the other matchups that they had. Like, VJ Edgecombe started for them. By the way, a rookie is in your starting lineup in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not saying that Jason Tatum would have fallen apart in this series, but in a series against the Knicks, or, you know,
don't you dare.
There's still a couple more games in this series, to be honest, to still see
Stop it.
leaks of.
Get some help.
There's still like a lot to be proven. We can go back to the overreactions, you know, like we said earlier, you know, overreactions. If I were to give mine to this one, it would be, don't think that this is what Jason Tatum's going to do every game.
Okay.
Listen. Don't think that Jason Tatum is going to just put up. What did he put up? He put up 25 on 9 of 17. You know, hit every free throw that he could. 7 assists, 11 rebounds. Don't. It's okay. He did great, but don't expect this to be the norm.
Okay. And if we move to the Cavaliers-Raptors, I will say the
most unproven
Yes.
Playoff opponent, by the way, for this Cavaliers team.
Well.
I think that it's even more unproven, like, of an opponent than a Sixers team would be for the Celtics. Yeah, I'd even say, like, even if Kevin Durant was still playing against the Lakers, that would be a more proven matchup than it would be for this Raptors team. Sorry, Toronto, but, you know, I love the concept here, what you got with going with Mamu and Scotty and RJ and
and quickly
yes, and Isaiah Quickly, who didn't play. But you know, this team is just not. It's got nothing to give.
No, and I mean, going in, I think the Raptors were gonna get swept no matter who they played. Personally, I think they still can get swept by the Cavs, which I was gonna say brings me to my point of the Cavaliers. I'm not confident about him still. I don't think.
I'm not. I wish Dash Stefanis was here so I could, you know, so he could tell me how every other team is going to get dominated by Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and how, you know, it's what are they going to do against us? Leading every statistical category against the Toronto Raptors does not move the needle for me.
No,
it does not. And to think that your leading guy, I know we talked about Donovan Mitchell earlier. I think Jude and I talked about Donovan Mitchell earlier too. The narrative is that James Harden is not going to do as much as Donovan Mitchell. And that Donovan Mitchell is going to be the guy to lean on, as well as the other guys. You know, like you have your other guys on the Cavs that do their thing as well. And it's a very unique team in that regard. But Donovan Mitchell, the same guy that we're saying that he is the guy that you can rely on, that James Harden doesn't need to worry about his playoff woes getting in the way of their success. He's the same guy that hasn't gotten past the second round in his career. He's the same guy that has had opportunities in the Western Conference and in the Eastern Conference, which we call weak all the time, where he's blown atrocious leads in the fourth quarter against the Pacers, where he's blown atrocious leads in regards to what happened in the Nuggets series, to be honest, back in 2020. If we really want to dive deep into the whole bubble, like that is a series that you should win. That's not a series where Jokic is in his prime. It's not a series where, sure, you have Bubble Murray, who might have, been motivated, from off the court tendencies. But the narrative that Donovan Mitchell is going to save the day, I don't believe in it. And I don't think that we should be bamboozled into thinking that, just because, it's okay, James Harden doesn't have to do that much, Donovan Mitchell will take care of us. It's like, when has that been the case for Donovan Mitchell in his career, that he's going to take care of us?
No.
And especially against this team where they're going to play for 2 more games, maybe, they'll be well rested up. I still have the Pistons making it past the first round. Shocker. Shocker. The guy that chose the first seed over the 8th seed still has the first seed being the 8th seed. I understand that they had a not very good game, but I don't think that Jalen Duren and Dennis Jenkins and Tobias Harris are going to have that much of a stinker before. What Tyler said earlier about what happened when Cade Cunningham wasn't available and he was worried about how the Pistons were performing. The Pistons were actually performing well with Dennis Jenkins. And granted, he's not a starter. He's a bench player.
Who?
But the Pistons can do that. It's about how much these teams are going to regress. I expect the Orlando Magic to regress in the next game. I don't expect the Pistons to, though. I expect the Pistons to rise even. I don't expect them to stay at all where they were before or get even worse.
Okay.
So I still have the Pistons getting past that and meeting this Cleveland Cavaliers team. But yeah, this Cleveland Cavaliers team doesn't move the needle for me. And it certainly shouldn't scare you if you were to meet them.
No. I don't want to make it a all roads lead to Knicks talk again, so I will keep it very short.
Stop it.
And just say that the Pistons loss shows me everything I need to know about playing them in the Eastern Conference Finals when we beat them and go to the NBA Finals. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yes, when we beat them and get to the NBA
Knicks to the NBA Finals before GTA 6.
They'll do it. They'll do it. I've not lost hope. I gotta see CJ McCollum do that 3 more times, which will never happen.
I mean, CJ McCollum, he might have something to say after being kicked off that CBA board. So he might have an issue with having to live in DC for a minute and then going to Atlanta.
I will also bring up for you, because I know you wanted updates. The Timberwolves have regained the lead and are at 62-56 over the Nuggets with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the half. Dante with 6 points, by the way.
So he did score.
He got points.
He did score. Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Let's not.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Anthony Edwards shot up his shooting percentage from. It was bad earlier. He was not shooting it well, but now he's at least 50%.
Yeah. Ant with 20. Randall with 18.
Yeah. I mean, if it's so tough because I think that this series goes 7, no matter what. Even if Ant is healthy, but I have the Nuggets in my bracket beating them because of the fact that Anthony Edwards has that runner's knee, and I think that they could shock me. They could shock me, and the Timberwolves could make it past the Nuggets, but I do believe that they should be favored. But if they keep going in this direction, they're gonna split the series, and it's gonna be on their way to figure out who can fight for dominance.
Yeah, I mean, I actually I have the Timberwolves, which you have the Nuggets. I thought the Timberwolves are gonna take this series, which currently down obviously the 1-0, but you never know with Anthony Edwards if he turns it on. Obviously, I think they have a really good shot. Julius Randle, of course. I don't know. I cannot believe I'm saying that. He can potentially lead a team.
Dude, he did it last year. But
he did it last year, but
you know what though? I'll agree with what Tyler said. There's no way that he's replicating the kind of postseason that he had last season.
Randall?
Yeah, there's no way. It's not happening. It can't.
It
that
can't,
man,
but it could.
bro.
But it could.
Do we realize what that man was doing?
No, he was
against everybody's favorite team.
Listen,
bro. Let me pull up some Julius Randle.
What he did was just. I've never seen Randall play like that, and you're right. We may never see it again, but I don't know. I think if the Timberwolves are to go far, they're gonna need that Randall, maybe a peg down from that Randall, but they will need him because I don't know. When you look at that team, obviously, other than DiVincenzo, who'll put in a few threes, Tate, I said it. He will get a few threes in there for you when you need it. And when he turns up, it's always a good time. And then you have Edwards, Randall. That's a good three for offense. But if you don't have Randall,
62% true shooting last year.
Okay, maybe. All right, I didn't know it was that high. Maybe not 62% true shooting again.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, listen. I liked what the Timberwolves got. In my opinion, I think that they're probably one of the most entertaining teams in basketball. So you know what. They can pull out some crazy stops and end up, getting past this first round matchup. And I would like to see them do that. Because I think Ant's the truth. I think that Ant's going to be the face of the league. Like you guys said earlier in the Olympics conversation, he's going to be the man leading that boat. So
really?
Yeah.
I thought with a big take that you had that you would say Wemby would be.
Listen, Wemby, this was what I was going to say about Wemby. Wemby is quite literally living the American dream. And I think he's personified the American dream, and not only from the perspective of being a guy from France, because I had in one of my classes, my professor brought in someone who's from France and who also went to the Olympics in 24 and got to really cover them and kind of showcase the side of like what it is like to have the basketball team that they had in Paris for those Olympics and what it meant for, I guess, French Americans. The person that you could look at before Wemby was a thing was Tony Parker. Tony Parker was the guy that lived out the American dream to the fullest. On NBA 2K15, he was the international cover star, and he was there holding the Finals MVP. Had a French flag in the background and the Eiffel Tower, and I believe it was I forget what other thing that he had, but it was basically just showcasing that like he did everything that every player internationally dreams of when they're like thinking about the NBA, and you're passionate about the game constantly, and you just want to like have that win it all or nothing, like Kobe Mamba mentality that America kind of exudes. And Wemby exemplifies that entirely. And I think that he's going to like put it in a whole different perspective in just like in the way that he's going to be looked at as an icon. Because this guy's going to win. After today, after he won Defensive Player of the Year, I'm standing on my two toes and saying right now,
on your 2 toes?
I'm sorry, on my 2 feet.
I was gonna say, what happened?
I'm standing on my 2 feet right now, saying that this man is going to win 10 Defensive Players of the Year awards in his career. He's going to quite literally win it 10 times in a row. As long as that 65 game rule is, still doing the whole, at least you play 20 minutes a game, he's going to win it every single year. I don't know when the last time was an award won unanimously outside of the Steph Curry award. If it was a most improved or a sixth man, I really doubt it, because those are pretty. I would feel like those awards have to be kind of mixed together with opinions. But this award, being the only guy to be Defensive Player of the Year unanimously in the league, that's got to say something about how incredibly incredibly insane this guy is.
Yeah.
And the fact that he loves the game, that he gets emotional after regular season games, like, you know, the league's gonna want to push him to get more awards and more accolades even more. Man. So, you know, he's just proving me right every day that he's just gonna be that guy. But you know who is gonna be proving me right pretty soon.
Uh-oh.
So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. The guy that's on my chest right now, he's not playing. He hasn't played so far in the Rockets-Lakers series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, man. I am okay.
You're okay.
I'm feeling just fine. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about anything right now. In fact, I think that tomorrow we don't even need Kevin.
Oh.
Tomorrow we don't need Wayne tomorrow. Because let me tell you something about last night. Let me school y'all Laker fans real quick.
Okay, here we go.
So not only did Kevin Durant not play last night, granted you guys don't have Luka Doncic, granted you guys don't have Austin Reeves. Let's just talk about who was on the court. And the assumption that, you know, that the Lakers are going to, you know, keep on winning if KD doesn't play some more games. Let me tell you something. So they lost in a 9-digit loss. Sorry, in a 9-game loss, 9-point game loss. The Lakers shot it extremely well from 3. They shot at 53%.
Okay.
Thankfully, obviously, to that is Luke Kennard shooting 5 for 5 from 3, having a playoff career high, by the way. And not only that. So the Lakers have been assigned with this task by LeBron James to rebound the damn ball, no matter what. Because they know that the Rockets are an extremely competent rebounding team. They are one of the best rebounding teams of all time. And yes, it is. Yes, if Google it, I promise you, they are one of the best offensive rebounding teams of all time. Even before, with Steven Adams, it was ridiculous. But if we look at their offensive rebounds, they had about 3 offensive rebounds last night. The Lakers. Mm-hmm. Can you guess how many offensive rebounds that the Rockets had?
You're saying one of the best offense.
How many offensive rebounds did the Rockets have?
Okay, before you answer that question,
No.
I would guess him this 8 question. Probably.
They had 21. They had 21 offensive rebounds, and by that logic, how many second chance points do you think that results to? A lot. So I'm gonna tell you how many shots the Lakers took. The Lakers took about 66 shots.
Okay.
How many shots do you think that the Rockets took?
Well, I did just look at it on accident, so...
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, they took 93. 93 shots. The Rockets took 30 more shots than the Lakers did. Şengün, Reed Shepherd, Jabari Smith all had terrible nights, but they shot 30 more shots. Do you think that they're going to shoot that horribly again if they out-rebound the ball that many times? No.
No, you can't.
No. The Lakers scraped by this win 2 days ago after a bad night from Şengün, a bad night from Reed Shepherd, in a game where they should have lost without Kevin Durant. I have nothing to be worried about. The fact that Luke Kennard had the game of his life on national television, and you expect me to... Not only did he do what I said he was going to have to do in order to win these games, I said he has to make 5 threes a game and shoot 15. He didn't have to. He made 5 for 5.
Stop it.
You really think that he's going to make 5 for 5 threes again? You really think that that's going to happen?
No, I don't. I don't think
so. By that logic,
okay,
we do not need Kevin Durant tomorrow.
Luke Kennard.
Oh,
by the way.
Here.
Let's hear what Luke Kennard stands.
So you're saying that was his best playoff outing. Okay, fair. That's also probably because this is his first career start in the playoffs.
Okay.
And
I mean, that's great. They have to. Listen, buddy, he wasn't on the scouting report. Luke Kennard was not on the scouting report, man.
And I will say he scored his career high is only another 3-point away from that 27, which is 30, and he's only done that 3 times, and then 29. So I think he's hit his ceiling, and he'd have to stay at that ceiling every single game for the Lakers to have a shot.
Okay, another thing.
Yes.
There are some people from high school who used to play against Luke Kennard. Yes, I'm pulling out old high school player tweets where
What are
they
we
said,
doing?
No, they said the scouting report for Luke Kennard was to call God.
Yeah, listen, the scouting
Are
report.
we really calling God for Luke Kennard?
Hold on.
Are we really gonna try to convince us that Luke Kennard was the main guy that we're trying to look at the scouting report? Is Luke Kennard making people have sleepless nights?
Listen, if we're going to scouting reports
Hey, did they
from
make you
high,
have a
no,
seat?
hold on,
Did
Tate.
they-
If you're bringing up high school scouting reports, bring up
it
Bronny
was Jude.
James's with a 4-minute 0.0 cross-border tour. Bring up his then, because I bet you his high school scouting report was probably pretty dang good too.
I don't think it was Ask God, though.
Dude, I don't think LeBron's was Ask God.
we-
I don't
are
know
we-
who wrote that
are we-
scouting report. He
Are we-
needs to
are
be
we
investigated.
Are we comparing Luke Kennard to the best player on your team, LeBron James? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what we're gonna
The
do?
best player on my team or the best active player on my team?
Oh,
Well, of course.
sure, yeah, all right.
That's not an answer.
No, I know. It's not an answer. But are we really gonna play these games?
Stop it. Get some help.
You're trolling, bro. You're trolling. You're down a game and you're trolling. Okay.
We're down a game, and after everything that I said, I don't need to be worried, man. The Lakers will lose game 2 tomorrow. I will be going live from Studio A at the time of that game is happening, so I will be looking at it. While we are filming, while we're recording, I will be looking at that game, and I'll just be seeing Luke Kennard. 1 for 4, 1 for 5 threes, 2 for 6 threes. Oh, it doesn't happen again because the LA Magic is only going to happen 1 game. I said it was going to be Rockets in 6. Do I want to go even lower? Do I want to say Rockets in 5?
You what?
Rocket. Wait a minute. Were you thinking 5?
Listen,
6? There's no way.
Listen.
There's no way the Rockets win this in 5.
I have the Rockets winning in 6 no matter what.
Okay.
The only chance that you Laker fans have is if Luka soups up on like one hamstring in game 6 and 7. So you guys have a chance, but it's like, on those call sheet charts, it's like by the time we've seen already what the stats are for what's Shea gonna get for MVP, it's like 98% right now, and you guys are the other percent. So I'm just gonna kick back, relax,
Wow.
wait until tomorrow, and yeah.
We'll see. We will see the outcome of this beef between you two next week after this series has a few more games in it. That's all we have for tonight from the Talk of Troy. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Tony.
Signing off.